What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Bad Religion, and we're back with some more live Bad Religion, going back to their 1996 album Tested. I did a couple reactions to this like very early on in my punk rock and Bad Religion reactions, but haven't been back to it in a while. And I figured, there's a few tunes I've reacted to recently, which there are live versions on here. Just to be clear, the first part of the album, they have recorded tracks, like studio tracks, though they're not from albums. Like Dream of Unity is in there, and that's not on any of the studio albums, but it's like a recorded version, it's not live. But the second half of the album, it's all live recorded tunes from a tour they did in Germany in 1996. We're going to listen to a tune called No Direction. As I said, I already reacted to this one, so I'm not going to spend too long talking about the lyrics. I will sum it up by saying it's a song about how so many people out in the world, they don't want to have to critically think for themselves. They don't want to have to, continue to assess ideas over time, to modify or abandon their views based on new evidence and argumentation. They essentially want a pre-packaged epistemological paradigm on a plate. And so the song makes the point that different people look for it in different places. Some people look to the heavens for direction and guidance of what they should do and what they should think. Some people look to like cultural authorities for what they should do and what they think. Some people look to, intellectual figures and academics and so on. But at the end of the day, whether they're looking to the sky, whether they're looking to a musician, or whether they're looking to a professor, the perspectives, are not really there to be gleaned. At the very least, if they're looking to the sky, they're not getting much in return. If they're looking to cultural authorities, they might get bad information. Though again, I do want to specify this is one rare Bad Religion song where I sort of don't like one of the lyrics. The middle verse talks about, it's sort of the cultural authority iteration of this concept, and it's talking about a teenage girl who's kind of like watching TV in the evening, and she sees a Madonna video, and the line is, and she gets ideas from Madonna's nasty clothes, with the conception being that, like, as a teenager, you're looking for touchstones, you're looking for things that, you enjoy aesthetically or musically or whatever. So yeah, again, it just comes across as sort of like that, antiquated, like, older men telling women and girls like what is or isn't appropriate to wear, which I don't think males should be in the habit of doing that. So yeah, bottom line, there is one line in there I don't like, but the point generally is that, like, if you go out into the world not really willing to critically think for yourself, not committing to like continually evaluating claims and ideas and belief systems and so on, if you're just going out there looking for someone to tell you how to act and how to be and what to think, you're not really going to get any good direction, if you get any direction at all. And you're certainly, as it relates to the last verse, not going to get it from Greg, who, he's a university professor, he is an academic, he's an anthropologist. And so yeah, basically the last verse is about how a righteous student came and asked him to reflect and considered that based on this lyric or that lyric, some of his ideas may be contradictory or so on. And he's like, hey man, no Bad Religion song is going to make your life complete. Ultimately, I'm not going to give you like gift wrapped direction or epistemology on a plate. That's not what this is about. And indeed, if you're listening to Bad Religion songs, you should know it's not about arguments from authority. It's about, critically thinking and trying to assess whatever Greg might think. So, yeah, I enjoy the lyrics, but like I said, this is a live version, and when I reacted to a couple of the tracks on this before, I did mention the performances of some of these tunes. They have like a bit more like percussive power. I don't know if it's just the like live recording of the drums is a bit louder or whatever in the mix, but yeah, it has a very like powerful sound to it. So let's get it. This is a live performance of Bad Religion's No Direction from their 1996 tour of Germany on the CD Tested.
This song's called No Direction. His life was holy and he couldn't bear the load.
I forgot he changed it. Coming after Courtney Love. Come on, Greg. Be better than that. Somebody else knows what it is. To someone else to tell them what to think. I do love the guitar riff in this one. Language, Greg. No? Said something there before that last line. Again, like in terms of the sort of togetherness of the sound of the group, it sounds very close to the studio version, though again the recording of the drums, it hits a little bit different and so on. So like you can tell it's a live version even without crowd noise. But yeah, it's very faithful to the original, shall we say. Again, not a huge fan of the line originally or changing it to Courtney Love. Again, you can have your opinions about like how like tasteful or whatever like some stars like aesthetic like public performance is, but at the end of the day, again, I just like, if you're a male punk rocker, I feel like just, you know, don't comment on how appropriate or not like women's clothes are. It just feels like, you know, you're going down the wrong alley. But regardless of my opinion on that, I was also amused how the self-important folks became self-important fucks. Yeah, and like ratcheted up the intensity of the rebuke of the student, the self-righteous student in the final verse. But yeah, bottom line, it's a cool performance. I don't know. I have two. Is it three? I think I actually have three. I think I have three live Bad Religion DVDs. Like one is called The Riot, and they only play a few songs, and then it's not even like really a riot. Thankfully, it's like, you know, you shouldn't want there to be a riot, but it was a show in Hollywood, and then eventually like the fire marshal kind of like shut it down, and so they weren't playing, so the crowd started getting like, you know, a little angry and throwing stuff and like whatever. So that one's not even like a full concert. I have another one from like the same period, you know, like late 80s, early 90s. I'm trying to remember the name. The DVD was released later, obviously, but bottom line, that one is cool. And then I have one from much later. I think it's like 2015 or something like that. I think it's like Live at the Palladium. I'm trying to remember if any of those performances include this song. You know, it's interesting to compare different live performances of the same song over the years, but in the moment I can't remember if it's on any of those DVDs, and if it is, I don't remember what it, you know, the particular sound of that performance. So anyway, let me know what you think of the tune. Other than that, I will see you next time. Peace.